Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to our another episode of the Mandarin Majlis, where we explore the deep cultural connections between China and the Arab world. Today, we are diving into something we all love, gahwa. But it isn't just a coffee talk. We are going to explore how coffee connects China and the UAE. Joining us today is a prominent figure in the UAE's coffee industry, known for his multi-phase contribution that have significantly shaped the region's coffee culture. He is a national coordinator of the Specialty Coffee Association. He's the organizer of the annual World of Coffee events in Dubai. He is the CEO of the Coffee Museum in Dubai, and he is the first Emirati who introduced Chinese Yunnan coffee to the UAE. Let's welcome our special guest, Mr. Khalid Al Mulla.
Thank you, Joanna. Appreciate your introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
كيف حالك?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Mr. Khalid, what's your favorite coffee?
I have quite a range of good coffee, so I always tell the people, when you ask, there is no one best coffee in the world, but there is a high range of good coffee, which we call it specialty coffee, of course. My favorite now, it's P&G coffee.
Thank you so much
Papua
for
New
bringing
Guinea.
this.
I brewed it myself. I hope you liked it.
Yeah, I like it so much. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
I like Costa Rica coffee, Ethiopian Sidamo, Indian Mansoom Malabar. And I used to consume, when I used to have a roastery, I sold it many years back, the Yunnan coffee as well.
So I would like to know, do you have a set schedule for your coffee daily routine? For example, like you have to drink specific coffee beans from different regions, from different days of the week.
Well, it's, let's say, the health awareness part, and other part, your preference timing based on, the work, routine work, daily work starts. So it's better to drink coffee after breakfast. It's not good on empty stomach. That's medically approved. And normally I have it between 9 and 10 a.m. So normally I have the breakfast around 8 or something like that, and have my first sip of coffee around that time. And when I start the caffeine kicking and it goes volatile, it goes up, then until the afternoon goes down, then you have the second dose of it. Yeah, and then in the evening. But the biggest challenge is now in days we're going to enter Ramadan.
Yeah. How do we?
And so I slowly start to descend the coffee dose. Okay. All the coffee, we just finished it 10 days ago, and that was a challenge. Normally, I start a month before Ramadan. So from 3 cups a day to 2 cups a day to 1 cup. And when you enter Ramadan, you have to, sleep longer hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be active the second day, because normally the caffeine, it's, activates your nervous system, which makes you, operational for a couple of hours and so on.
Yes.
So what a replacement. You have to sleep more in Ramadan before you go to the first day.
Yeah, that's a good knowledge.
Yes,
that's why I also want to ask, because nowadays people drink more coffees. You are like 3 cups a day, right?
Yes.
I'm drinking 2 cups or 1 to 2 cups per day. And I believe during Ramadan time, that will be difficult for those
Very
coffee
challenging.
addicted, right? Very challenging.
At the beginning, many years back, when I started to engage in the coffee industry, so I used to consume, drink a lot of coffee. And when I enter Ramadan, without taking any, precaution of reducing the dose of coffee, so the first week of Ramadan is super challenging for us.
So you have to prepare ahead.
Yes, I mean the thirst, the hunger is nothing compared to the caffeine.
Especially for those coffee lovers.
Exactly, yes.
But this coffee is really nice. It's very balanced. And sometimes, the caffeine, they're the same. Sometimes when I drink coffee, some of the coffee tastes are very strong. And I assume the caffeine is higher.
Caffeine is related more into the roast profile, or let's say more into grind size. Is it finer? Is it coarser? If it's finer, the more the hot water contact with the coffee grounds, the higher caffeine in your cup is. In espresso, everybody thinks espresso is strong, but not in caffeine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But higher caffeine, you know the gahwa, of course, you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Because we have to boil it for 10 minutes for preparation. It has higher caffeine than
Espresso?
Espresso, no. Because it's the coffee grounds inside the group. It's seconds with the pressure passes through the coffee grounds till reaching your cup. Okay.
Oh.
So the contact duration of the hot water with coffee grounds is less timing.
Oh.
The higher timing is, the more. Like if, the preparation with the siphon, you know, the vacuum percolator.
Yeah.
So you have a higher caffeine in it. So if you're a coffee lover and you want caffeine kick, go for the brewed coffee.
Oh, I see. So it's relate to how you produce it, not relate to the flavors.
Relate with the grind size and the duration of the contact between the hot water and the coffee grounds. So in our science, we call it TDS.
Oh, TDS.
Yes, total dissolved solids. So yeah.
I see. Back to Emirati coffee.
Yeah.
Emirati coffee culture is deeply rooted in tradition. And you being also a pioneer bringing, new coffee experience to the UAE. As we mentioned, you are the first Emirati introduce Yunnan coffee to the UAE. Can you please share the stories behind how did you discover Yunnan coffee and why you decide to bring here?
I have a good relationship with your government. And, many government officials visited my coffee museum as well back then. And one of the companies, MCH, which they have branch in Hong Kong, in Indonesia, in Free Zone Jebel Ali here also. And they wanted to, they are dealing with many producing region from Yunnan. And they said, we have a facility, we make like a toll roasting with a private label for a company, and they wanted to supply roasted beans to Hong Kong. And they brought containers of Yunnan coffee. We had it for so many years, and the company used to call it Easterman & Co. And then we roast and private label with them, and we shipped it to Hong Kong. And it was amazing approach. We had a future planning and so on. But I had unfinished business in UAE. That's why I couldn't go internationally a lot.
Okay, I see. Have you been travel to China?
Yes, I went to Shanghai, Nanjing, and I went to Sun Monument as well.
So,
it was amazing experience. And the funny part, at that time when I visited, I met some government officials, some Chinese business tycoons over there. And we were sitting in one of the pictures, which I'm going to show you, a tea table, because of the value of the table. It's how one piece of wood, how it is, which it, okay?
Yeah.
And even the tea bags which they brought, each one of them, it's very expensive. Nothing compared with the auction which took place in World of Coffee. So it's much more than this $100,000 or something like that. So, and I didn't know that there is so many good tea artists over there.
Correct.
So the purpose of our visit, of course, to promote specialty coffee because it's booming worldwide. And so old-timers from the Chinese, I find resistant from them. Okay, and the translator, she trying to convince them, and they say no. And
why so?
At the beginning, then I clearly explained to them. I say, we are not taking over the tea culture. We're adding value due to a demand of the young people who's coming, and college students and so on. And as important as the Chinese culture, other cultures are important, been there for so many years as well. And this is what all about, cultural exchange.
Yes.
Okay. And so I had my coffee gear in my bag. I had the grinder. I started grinding
coffee. You take your too long with you.
Yeah. And after grinding coffee, you get the coffee aroma, and then start, the spread. Then when they smell, you saw what I
did earlier. That smells amazing.
When they smell the coffee grounds, it's mind-blowing. And then I start to brew coffee over there and start to serving. And you see the perception change a bit. Okay, I cannot say
Yes,
100%.
yes.
I mean, you cannot change the mindset of people. They are tea
Yeah.
drinkers since a generation, and you cannot change
Yes.
it overnight.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually the shared the culture. If you go to many of the tea places,
Yes.
they were not trying to sell you what kind of tea. They just sit down,
Yeah.
I'm going to make tea for you. You drink it.
Yeah.
Slowly the relationship start.
Exactly.
Right? So the same.
Yeah.
Like when you say you serve gahwa, coffee to them, slowly you feel like something changed, right?
Yeah. Mentioning that is, let's picture inside a cafe.
Oh.
Okay. Will you your business model only sell coffee? But there is many other variables can complement coffee.
Yeah.
You have tea, chocolate, you have pastries, you have acai, you have everything, all of that. You
Yeah.
have matcha, okay?
Yeah.
So they complement each other.
Yeah.
And that's why we emphasize when we have like a trade show with this scale, like a World of Coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. We welcome these companies to even exhibit and promote. It's a business model. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, part of it, and it's a cultural thing in the background.
Yes, actually, later we'll show you on Chinese social media how
Yes.
the World Coffee actually gets, featured on the platform. Many people, maybe they are not Chinese company participants in your events, but they share their experience to
Yes.
look at all the different coffee from different regions, different countries. This is, as you said, this is a culture exchange.
Yes.
So this is amazing part.
Mentioning about the culture, I know you're going to ask me a question, but I'll give you a heads up about
Yeah.
it. Of course, the coffee museum is something unique. And when I opened the doors of the coffee museum, all the reports which they wrote about many local international media, especially the international media, they say the coffee came back to its birth. Okay, and I emphasize and highlighted, very important to highlight so many different cultures. So when you take a tour in the museum, you see from the early birth of coffee all the way to modern technology in terms of roasting, grinding, and brewing coffee, covering so many different cultures. And it's like a piece of Africa in the heart of a museum. The idea is not to grab a cup of coffee and leave. No,
Yeah.
it's you living the same lifestyle, or let's say the coffee ceremony, Ethiopian coffee ceremony, as how the way they present it in their culture. And that's why I emphasize that there is so many important coffee brewing methods being there for so many years, but it's not being presented in a global level. For instance, you have the gahwa. Okay, the protocol of serving Arabic coffee, and enlisted, of course, by Abu Dhabi Tourism in 2015. That intangible of drinks, the gahwa, and they started the gahwa championship and so on.
Yeah.
So, picture the culture before in history, and nowadays the manufacturer, they have to think to manufacture something to present it in front of the local international judges. Okay. And then the sponsor comes, then the competitor comes, then the excellence comes. Oh. Okay, the excellence, it comes, of course, by different means. It comes by knowledge, it comes by hygiene, it comes by everything. So this is all started from culture.
Yeah, I see.
And here where the business ecosystem starts, okay, by presenting culture. A lot of people doesn't understand how culture is important and presented to world level. And many other brewing methods, for instance, being there also, like the, let's say, the Bonna Jabena, which is the Ethiopian coffee ceremony.
Yeah.
You find the lady with her traditional dress.
Yeah.
She roast, grind, brew coffee in front of a member of the family and neighbors. They sit. It creates a perfect environment to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
When I was in Addis for attending one of the trade shows over there, Afka,
Yeah.
every corner this presentation is there. In hotel, airline lounges, in every street block, you find this Ethiopian coffee ceremony. It's deeply rooted in their tradition and culture as well. Plus, other culture, let's say the Asian and plus the Latin America. They do brew coffee with the cloth.
With clothes?
Cloth, yes. We
Really?
Many companies manufacture with cloth. You put coffee grounds in cloth.
Oh.
But you know, when you don't find cloth, what you put instead? You want me to mention it? It's true, huh? They use socks.
Oh, really? So which means
He
the
doesn't
rich
have
flavor.
something to put coffee grounds to brew, so they
Use the socks or no?
It will give nice flavor if you give a truck driver socks. So
I didn't really know this. Wow.
yes,
Oh.
and there is a Vietnamese coffee, you know, they do with condensed milk or coconut milk as well.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the color actually,
Exactly.
the Vietnamese like the coffee with color. I mean, this is really the different culture within.
Yeah,
You know, this beverage, right?
exactly. Yeah.
That's the first time, you know, I landed here, the UAE. Whenever you go, you see people serve you the Emirati gahwa with dates. I mean, this is a culture as well.
Yes, so mentioning this, you know, the presentation of the Arabian Della, okay, the coffee pot.
Yeah.
So whenever you see a person presenting this, what does it mean? It means the person like to welcome his guest. Despite he doesn't have anything in his pocket, that means he's not a rich person, but at least he served the guest with gahwa and dates. So this Arab hospitality traveled 100 years back. Now you see it in 5-star hotels.
Yeah, everywhere.
Okay, when you
yeah.
enter like any Jumeirah group hotel, they serve you with Arabic coffee. That means you are welcome.
Oh.
It's basically the presentation of the Arabian Della is like a simple sign of hospitality.
Yeah.
And you see it in government departments. They serve you with Arabic
Yeah,
coffee.
always,
You see
yeah.
it in airline lounges.
Yeah.
Even the symbol of the Arabian Della, you find it in the streets. That means the country like to welcome guests.
Oh, this is the sign.
Yes,
Oh.
and the only currency in the world which has the design of the Arabian Della is the UAE 1 dirham. Yes.
Yeah.
Who ordered to be placed in the dirham? Our forefather Sheikh Zayed, because it's deeply rooted in our traditional culture as well. And the design of the Della,
Yeah.
this is an interesting point. When you come to the museum, I will show you different design.
Yeah.
Resembles from the place where manufactured or the family. So by seeing the design, I know this is from Ihsa, from Saudi Arabia. So there is Dalla al-Hasawiya, Dalla Makkawiya from Mecca. There is Dalla Greshiyya. There is Dalla Bahrainiyya. There is Dalla Kuwaitiyya. Kuwaitiyya has a special design by looking at the design.
Any design differences.
Dalla Baghdadiyya from Baghdad. Dalla Shamiyya. Okay, you have from Syria and neighboring countries as well. Only by looking at the design, we know this comes from this, or the family, it has a signature of the family on the vintage ones as well.
Oh, really? This is knowledge I really don't know. No, this is actually more people should know, huh?
Yeah. So the presentation, when you have the protocol serving Arabic coffee, you have a full process. You have a tool called mahmas, which we roast the coffee over the charcoal.
Yeah.
Then you have minhas. So in local Emirati, we say minhas, the grinds. Yes. And it has a special way. You hammer it twice and then you hit the sides. So the side is like a calling people to come, and after the grinding, what's going to take place? Brewing coffee. So it takes 5 to 10 minutes to brew coffee. So everybody comes.
It's a sign, the sound telling people gathering,
Exactly.
I'm preparing coffee,
Yes,
come here and enjoy.
So then they brew it in a bigger pot, dalla, and they serve it in a smaller ones, either 2 minimum or 3, which is the most common. And we have names of each dalla.
Yeah.
And we put a natural filter from the dates tree. Inside the bigger, the more concentrated or dalla, natural, because in this respect, the coffee grounds comes in your cup.
Oh.
Yes.
Inside.
Yeah. So a natural filter, then we pour it in a smaller, and the person need to hold, let's say, the finjan in his right hand and the dalla left hand.
Oh.
So he, normally you have a U-shaped majlis. Okay, so where he starts, from left, right, or the middle?
I guess
It
from
depends.
the oldest.
It depends who's in the majlis. If there is the most eldest person or the sheikh or the guest coming, he comes from the middle of the majlis to the owner of the house, then he redirected to the guest. Okay.
Yeah.
If there is a common people with the same age,
Yeah.
he start from right and ends with the left. Okay.
Oh.
Normally he have three. He pours. He gives. He doesn't pour up to here. He doesn't pour up to here. He have to pour less than 25% of the cup first. And the reason to do that,
Yeah.
because I give you and pour this, that means you sit, you relax, feel at home. So we expect you to drink even more, and then I pour higher dose.
Oh,
So-
so the first cup will be less.
Less. So apart.
Apart.
To be hospitable, okay, that you are welcome, you sit here, feel at home, don't rush. It's totally disrespect if you feel it. It means
Yeah,
drink
this-
and walk away. Okay, so, okay, so
Yeah, actually, this is the same culture when we pour the tea to people. We say, do not pour the full cup. That's disrespectful. The same culture, actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why when we were young, the parents
Yes.
always, when you serve tea to your guests, remember, never with the full cup.
Yeah. Even with us. Wow.
Wow, so this is the connect, huh?
Yes,
The shared
yes, yes.
culture. Wow, yeah.
So he serve, of course, when you give it back, you have to shake it left and right, okay? And here where it stops.
Which is me, like
okay.
I don't need halas.
This, yes, it means enough. That's the way, I mean, the person who had the finjan, finyan gahwa, then he shake it to a person who's serving and so on. And the reason of this, it
Like
has
shake.
two reasons. The second one more important, as the first one they say. Back then, the tribes, when you sit in a majlis, they talk about secrets. The person who is serving the gahwa, he doesn't hear. Always, he's a deaf person. Yes.
Yeah.
So the only way to communicate with him by shaking the cup.
Oh.
Yeah, but it has other reason, of course. It's more important reason, which more commonly used.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you now, and it's disrespect to interrupt our conversation. Maybe we're talking about something important, right?
Yeah.
So you do like this and finish. He take the cup without. Would you like to
interrupting,
interrupting
yeah,
it? So,
this
so it's
is,
out of respect of the
yeah.
conversation with the person sitting next to you.
If I want more, how can I give it a size?
You give it to him without shaking. He will
it's just like,
This- yes,
okay,
yeah.
that's good. I want more.
Yeah.
I don't want anymore.
The interesting part of it, you have the presentation of the dalla, of course, the bigger one, the smaller one.
Yeah.
If you put the finjan over the dalla, okay, what does it mean?
I don't know.
Okay. It means the owner of the house, he's not here, okay?
Okay.
So you come, sit, make yourself at home and serve your own coffee and dates, eat it over there.
Oh, even I can know that the owner at home or not
in
at home.
Spanish, they say it mi casa to casa. Okay, so my home is your home. Okay.
Oh.
So another point. If you find a finjan over the dalla, plus there is a knife next to it, what does it mean?
I never really see a knife.
When you're going to come to my museum, I'll show you.
Okay.
It means go kill the goat, okay, cook your own food, and drink your own coffee, also a house, yes.
Wow.
So it depends how generous the person and value value his
Yeah.
guest, and you know, that's the way also.
The hospitality actually
that's-
from the
Exactly.
culture.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So many times, like people often say that Chinese people always like force people eat to drink. I think from Emirati Arab culture, we also have the same, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to serve your guests with the best,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that now over a decade I opened the doors of the Coffee Museum, and I was the first one who presenting the protocol of serving Arabic coffee in public. It used to be in majlises many years back, of course, our ancestors and so on. But in public, showcasing to the public,
Yeah.
I opened the doors, and which had agreed from many different part of the world. Even I remember one time Chinese couple, they got married in the Majlis and they were the Arabic coffee. I remember that, yes,
Really?
many years.
Yeah, back to the coffee museum,
Yes.
that's not just a must-visit place to learn about coffee culture. It's really immersive like experience, like through all the people's love for coffee, You really present not only Emirati or Arab coffee, you actually brought all different
The
coffee
global,
cultures
yes, coffee.
together. I mean, this is really you bring people from all over the world, but you also explain that's the place, you welcome
The
people.
essence of coffee, yes.
Yes.
A special thank, of course, to government of Dubai of all their support, Dubai Cultural Authority, and that's the house belongs to them. The beauty about the museum, this is the history of Dubai, by the way. The old houses. The house of the museum is
Yes.
120 years old, and I know
Yes.
the family who used to live over there, and that they made me to choose one of the 4 houses over there, and I chose this one, even though that I want something bigger. But you will notice I utilize every corner in the museum.
Yeah.
I made sure, as important as Emirati culture of coffee presentation, the gahwa, I made sure to cover so many different cultures as well in that museum.
Yes.
Because coffee is a universal language and being celebrated and preserved, and it's important to showcase so many different cultures. And I get visitors from all over the world. It used to be top 100 must visit in Dubai.
Yeah.
Then reached top 25, now top 10. And recently I've been appointed as well as one of the best museums, 10 museums around the world, and one of the, I think, voting happened somewhere, and I got tagged by the social media.
Yeah, that's well deserved,
Yes, thank you. And why? Because it's important to show so many different cultures, and we have more than 200 nationalities. Most of them are coffee drinkers. I made many activities, especially with university students. They learning about tourism, and they want to take part of the, tour guides over there.
Yeah.
And a part of Dubai tourism put top 10 must visit in Dubai. Even other tour companies from all over the world, they come and visit me. And some of them who booked me, I give informative tour, like an hour and a half. But after the tour, I make sure that you will understand all the story behind every cup when you drink.
Yeah, it's
every
not
morning.
just a
Yes.
drink, not
Yes.
just a beverage.
So
There's a lot of knowledge behind.
Yes, beauty about our industry, when you put your foot inside, is like you're entering one big family. So the farmer in Colombia knows us, the farmer in Ethiopia, the CXOs in Canada, US, Europe, Australia, in Asia.
Yeah.
We meet each other a couple of times a year, and we share our knowledge and views, and it's a really beautiful industry. It's not like the tea industry, by the way. Sorry to say.
Now you want to compete the Chinese
No,
tea.
I've been attended the tea forum. I gave a speech twice. Every country do their own thing. They are not unified as we are. We have a global association. Of course, I represent the UAE
Yeah.
as well, and we have so many R&Ds. We support farmers in different ways, different means, either direct trade or fair trade, or through different projects. And we do so many activities behind coffee, and support our businesses, startup businesses. Even in world of coffee, I mean, from beginning, when you don't have to have a well-established plant for so many years. Even if you are coffee enthusiast, you eligible to participate in the world of coffee. So I made sure that every segment from the market have, presence in this unique trade show as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I would like to ask you, as an organizer of the annual World of Coffee events happening, in the UAE, in Dubai,
Yeah.
how important it is, to organize such a global coffee events, in building, business relationships or promoting different coffee region like Yunnan.
Yeah.
How do you see, are there more, opportunities for Emirati and Chinese coffee business?
There are opportunities. There are always opportunities. This year we found from India a huge presence. They had special pavilions. Other countries from Guatemala, from Costa Rica, from Rwanda, we had 78 countries participation in World of Coffee.
How could you organize? How could you welcome so many members from everywhere to this event?
World of Coffee story is different. So it took me years to bring it. So first time leaving United States. In the United States, they call it Coffee Expo. In Europe, World of Coffee. And rotating among European cities.
Yeah.
So adding, not deleting from any part of the world to Dubai, because I always say the mother of all industries is UAE, okay, and especially in Dubai. UAE is not big market, but we are surrounded by big markets, which goes in volume. Like in Saudi Arabia, you have population over there. Egypt, you have Iran, you have India, and Pakistan also picking up in specialty coffee scene. But most of the deals takes place here in major trade shows. One of the nicest comments which I heard from a Saudi blogger, that in Arabic say Dubai ard khasba lil ma'arad, means Dubai has organic soil for trade shows. So you've seen it, I mean, in front of your eyes.
Yes.
You have the Gulf Food, is the biggest food event in the hemisphere. Okay.
Yeah.
You have the GITEX, you have the Big Five for concert, you have the medical as well, and many others, and so on.
Yeah.
So when it came to coffee, okay, from first edition, which hosted at Expo site over there in DC, Dubai Exhibition Center, till now, the fourth edition, you've seen the potential growth. What that proves to you? It proves that UAE market is stable, is for opening business to start and grow, and can connect even not only to UAE limits, no, even to the region.
Yes.
Yes. And Dubai, if you picture Dubai as a whole, it's real estate. But real estate what? Industry focus real estate.
Yeah.
They see the know-how of every industry and what is required to do it, and they build accordingly.
Yeah.
So if you picture, you have, of course, Dubai Internet City, you have the DHCC, Dubai Healthcare City. So this is in medical, this is in IT, then Dubai Media City.
Yeah.
So under DMCC, you have four main verticals, many others, of course, but the main ones are Gold, Diamond, Tea Center, and the Coffee Center.
Oh.
So they don't invest the government in the commodity, but they provide the platform for it.
Yes.
So
correct.
like a real estate. So space you want to bring like Yunnan coffee to store it in the free zone over there. They will be charged as a rent, and anything utilized in that facility will be charged as a service. So training, you have SE premium training centers over there for all education models. You want to rent a space, office, annual, monthly, weekly. We have flexi desk, everything.
All the servers.
Yeah. So see how flexible. Okay. You want to even for 1 week be a member in that facility and use facility. So it's, we give the ease. How to start up and grow accordingly. We call it organic growth instead of injecting so much capital and don't know where business direction going to go. Yeah,
we try. The feedback that I got from many of the coffee shop owners, Chinese, they said they need guidance. They try different areas to find.
We help many businesses here. You have so many free zones here. It depends on the business model and their approach, what they want to start here. And we give them many different options. You have a Dubai World Trade Center free zone. You have Maidan free zone, very flexible. Maidan free zone, now they have above, say, 6,000 companies, 7,000 companies listed. And they started recently, I mean, compared to other free zones as well.
Yeah.
You have the MCC free zone, you have Jebel Ali free zone. Normally in Jebel Ali free zone, you have like international subsidiaries of mother companies. They want to open a big operation over there, and especially for cross-shipping, it's more suitable place to be as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Talking about UAE now, I'm proud to say that UAE became the specialty coffee capital of the world.
yeah.
Why? Because a lot of people from the community, I cannot say it's a one-man show. No, it's a teamwork spirit. We created together,
Yeah.
and it is very important that in this industry to be in hand of community and government.
That's the lesson you want to tell most of the Chinese coffee
Yes.
owner, because I go to different coffee shop. I found actually different coffee shop have their own concept. Maybe coffee shop with flower shop together, or coffee shop with a classic cars.
Yes.
So they always find their special parts to show, like you said, in the market you have to have your special parts to differentiate yourself from others.
It's good you mentioned that. What made such unique, a part of the growing, the market is saturated with the specialty coffee scene. But nowadays, if you find out anybody opening a coffee business in UAE,
Yeah.
it's very unique. It's with classic car, okay, with a motorbike, with fashion,
Yeah.
with watches, they're not replicating like standard cafe.
Coffee shop, no.
Everyone has its own uniqueness of presentation, their cafe, and that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if I talk about myself, I had many fashion, like Pandora jewelry. They did an event over there. Many fashion designers, they came and did some events. Lamborghini, they did also one event over there. Find My Lamborghini, I remember.
Yeah.
Many, countless of events. I link up with many other brands because coffee can connect with everything. Even Mercedes, you have in D3, they open a cafe with AMG.
Yeah,
Okay,
so this is
our
like
friend
a
also.
broader
Exactly.
collaboration.
Yes, yeah. So this is what made coffee really unique. In many showrooms of car dealers, you find a specialty coffee.
Yeah.
And not only that, when you reach a level that the specialty coffee presented in gas stations,
Yeah.
like if you go all ADNOC stations,
Yeah.
they serve with a specialty coffee now inside.
Yeah, I
That
see the
means
Turkish coffee was present
this
there.
is a turning point. That means the specialty coffee reach everywhere. And many hotels, of course, they start to sell or give to the customer the specialty coffee during their breakfast.
Yeah.
And when it reach airline, hotel, hospitality, that means you covered all market segment, and the market is saturated with the specialty coffee scene. And there is no room for commercial coffee to be there.
Yeah, I
Yes.
see. But I have also noticed some of the differences, like back to Chinese coffee markets. Chinese people really loyalty to those famous Chinese
Tea.
coffee chains
Yes,
or
yeah.
teas,
Yeah.
But nowadays, young generation and more people actually is looking for specialty coffee shops, and especially Shanghai, those big Beijing, those bigger cities. You will see many of the specialty coffees will attract people from all over the world.
Yeah.
Some mentioned that if they have the very good quality, those coffee beans, that costs a lot. If you drink just this amount.
Yeah.
That's costly. This is like not just a normal commercial meal, like a coffees,
Look, I have a bit different point of view about these expensive coffees.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Geisha, Cup of Excellence, or 90 plus, Kopi Luwak, or many other coffees are,
Yeah.
the price hit even during auction. But who's the most important people in the coffee industry? The farmers.
Our farmers.
Yes, they are the most important. We have to do all means to support these farmers.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, and selling this price, speculating the prices of the coffee is not good for the farmers. This is the biggest risk. The main risk now in coffee industry is climate change and disease, and plus one of the top 3 risk factor is farmers. They couldn't sustain their basic living for their education, healthcare, and so on, and they have to leave and come to the city.
Yeah.
So who will go and run their farms? We're going to go there?
No,
It's impossible.
Those
Yes.
commercial.
So we have to do all, all the things to support them, to create more sustainable market for them
Yes.
as well. For instance, in Colombia, they did a very good program, and they talking about it in many conferences. Okay, that a certain coffee bean, when shipped outside Colombia, so percentage of that sales goes to sustainability practice for their healthcare, education, R&D, develop their farm. I've seen it in my own eyes when I visited in Colombia.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect model to do. One of the projects I was started since 2016, the only producing region in Saudi Arabia is in Jazan. It's a borderline with the Yemen.
Yeah.
It has the same character of Yemeni coffees over there. And so we were meeting with the different government officials over there. And they told me, Khalid, why don't you invest and you build a dry mill? Dry mill considered as a bank for coffee. So all the farmers, they pass their coffee bean through it. So it goes through huller, removing the parchment of coffee, and then the destoner, removing all the defects, then grader, separating the beans based on density, then color sorter, and then, of course, human touch by separating the good bean and bad bean from each other, and then goes to packaging. Basically, the business comes to it, the dry mill. And I say it's not about me to invest, or Mahbub was sitting, I brought Mahbub from Ethiopia, his company called Muligi. He owns 5 dry mill, and each one of them is 3-4 times the size of the one they want to build it in Saudi Arabia. Ali Al-Fahab, the owner of Earth Roastery as well, he was in the meeting. It's not about Ali also to invest, not even bring Saudi investor. Why you as a government invest in it, okay, because it's considered as a bank, and make it 51% government owned, 49% a shareholder company, not anyone. Farmers to be shareholders. Number one, you will secure all the coffee will come through dry mill. Number two, the return of the dry mill will come back to the farmers.
Yeah, this is very important.
Yes, and then the business comes to it. All the traders around the world, they come and buy from the dry mill, and that's a very well known. Practice in all dry mills and wherever I visited. So it's considered like a bank for coffee, and this kind of things need to be addressed to so many officials in different countries, even in China. If you, I know who the person who's involved over there to develop the coffee sector, and I know previous years who was involved over there. But considering the government, they had to think to build a neutral ground, not connected to one person, to avoid the monopoly in future, to give fair to all the farmers over there. Part and other part to make create a more sustainable practice for them. Yes, and then they can make a basic life living.
From the bigger sides, if Chinese, or for example, Chinese Yunnan coffee farmers or any Chinese coffee shop want to come to the UAE market, what's the advice you would give to them?
To link up with the expertise. It depends. Is he a franchise chains he want to open, or like the business, or startups? If he is a startups, I give different, different approach or different business models based on his business nature. We done that before. We are successful, and we done. Back then, I used to do turnkey projects for many new investors. When I see the investment is not feasible and that is going to fail, I turn my back and go away. I tell him I'm not going to do it because his success is my success. His fail is my reputation.
Yes.
And my reputation is very important.
Yes, correct.
Yes. That's the way we elevate. And like I said, we have so many different free zones with a minimum price. You can link up with the local coffee companies, and you can start in the business model I can show you the facilities here. You can start up with DMCC Coffee Center if he doesn't want to link up with local roasters. So many different business model and approach can be done easily. And for many businesses, UAE is safe haven to start up if you want to cover this region.
Yes, I think to be safe, to be make sure the success in the UAE, better to let Chinese investors or owners to contact Mr. Khalid.
Yes, thank you. And the most important part, once he established, I always say, the recognition of any businesses trade shows. Social media has its own, customer base, but not everything is social media. Coming to a trade show, we are running a different trade shows in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, World of Coffee, of course, as well known. Position your company over there and connect with the global coffee players.
That's
you will
important.
learn. And you will learn of the best practices over there. Most innovative products, best new products. We bring many companies present a new product which manufactured less than 1 year. You pay how much? 1,500 dirhams. Okay, but if you win, you get a local international exposure. One lady, Coffee Design Award and Best New Product, is very well known. You pay 1,500. One lady, El Bosque, she's from Colombia. She didn't understand, but she put her product, El Bosque means farm in Spanish, as a design, okay, of different packaging and so jute bag and so on. And she won without having a stand. And she was surprised. By paying 1,500, and she was all over the industry known best new design product. So see how from not having a stand, from a lady who start, baby steps and grow her company, and how much exposure she got.
Yes, I see. Yeah, there's definitely lots of knowledge and the business plans behind. And thank you so much for joining us today. But I think the better for in the future Chinese investors or the farmers, anyone who want to come to the UAE to be successful, I think they need an advisor like Mr. Khalid, right?
Thank you. I am more than welcome. Let them reach out to me. Okay, my phone is open always. I don't sleep so many hours. I sleep only 4 or 5
because
hours.
Of coffee. Okay, yeah.
Caffeine keeps us alive.
Yeah, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.